What is up, guys? MeatyLock here, and today we are back in action playing Minecraft, and today we are taking a look at the mod Draconic Evolution. So, yeah, we're doing a little mod spotlight of Draconic Evolution. Now, I've played with this a little bit. I know pretty much how some stuff is done, and this mod is freaking, this mod has a lot of content, so I'm going to try to go through it and explain everything the best of my ability. But remember, I'm only a human being, so, you know, I might miss some things here and there. Anyways, if you guys enjoy the mod spotlight, make sure to go and click the like button. I really appreciate it. I love y'all's faces forever. So, the first thing we're going to take a look at is, the thing I think everyone should make first off is the Draconic chest here. The Draconic chest is really cool. So, the Draconic chest, the way you, I'm not going to show the recipes, but I'm just going to show, for example, the recipes. The way you make this is Draconium ingots and obsidian chests and furnaces and that kind of stuff. I think this is a custom recipe maybe, or maybe this is the default recipe because this relies on another mod, so I'm not sure. But the way you get Draconium ingots is you actually get Draconium blend, and the way you get Draconium blend is you take this dust and surround an iron ingot and you get Draconium blend. Now, what I suggest doing first off is getting just enough Draconium blend to make a Draconic chest, and then putting all your blend in there because I think it doubles it. So the way you find this Draconium dust is it's really rare in the overworld. It's really rare. But if you go to the end, it's all over the end island, and then you can actually find it throughout the end in like little pockets and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, if you have a huge quarry setup, you can get this stuff no problem. So it's not really that big of a deal. But yeah, Draconium, you need this stuff for everything in the mod. Now, the Draconic chest, the reason it is so cool, as you guys see here, it's a huge chest. It's a huge chest. And it has some built-in functions. First of all, a built-in function is it has a crafting table. So it's a chest, it's a crafting table, and it's also a furnace. Now, the furnace is based off of RF, so it uses power. So what you can do is there's different modes right here. Keep current stacks filled, only pull currently smelting items from the inventory and all this stuff. What I suggest is I like using this function right here. I'll pull any smeltable items from the inventory. So if we do this, let me grab this stuff. Well, actually, I guess I don't have to grab this. So if we pull this out, you see, look at that. It can smelt up to 5 items at a time, and it automatically doubles. It automatically doubles everything. Let's go ahead and pull all this stuff out. And then now watch this, watch this. We have 8 gold. Watch this. We have it smelts all of it. Okay, wait. Let me put. So we have 28 gold, and now we have 30. So it automatically doubles. You don't have to pulverize it. You don't have to do anything. This is a single block that automatically doubles your ores, and it's freaking amazing. It also smelts up to 5 items at a time, which is crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. It smelts 5 items at a time. So we're getting 10 ingots here, which is nuts. So let's go and stick all this stuff back in, and yeah, it does all this stuff. Now, what I could do is I can take this, now while I'm crafting, I can make a gold block. There we go, look at this. Done. Dunzo. Dunzo, there we go, awesome. So yeah, this guy is really useful. You want to use this for everything. It's freaking amazing. It holds so much, it just does everything. It's like the ultimate tool right here. Now the way I'm powering it is Draconic Evolution does have its own power gen. It only has a generator though. The generator runs off coal power, and it just generates power via coal. Now, it actually generates a lot of power, I've noticed. I don't know the exact RF a tick, but it generates a lot. I would say like at least 300 or maybe like 100 RF a tick or 200 RF a tick. I don't know. But it generates a lot of power. Now, if we watch the power thing here, we'll see. Let me pull this out. You'll see that it's going up pretty fast. Down here in the bottom left, you'll see that it's going up pretty fast. And 1 block of coal actually lasts a long time. So yeah, this is probably like 100 RF a tick, maybe, something like that. Anyways, okay, so that's how you generate power. Now, Draconic Evolution has a lot of just cool, neat features. So you can generate power, you can process ores and that kind of stuff. You can also charge your stuff. So they have something called an energy infuser. Now, the way this differs from any other normal thing is it actually can charge stuff like way faster. Look at this. Pretty much 1 million. 1 million. I think it can charge things as fast as you put power into it. So I think if you put like 1 million RF a tick, it might charge it at 1 million RF a tick. I don't know the exact specifications, but it charges really fast. Much faster than anything else from any other mod. It's really cool. Next up, we have a Sundial. Now, what the Sundial does is it pretty much makes sense. So if I apply a constant redstone signal, you're going to see it's going to do its thing here. And look, there you go. Look, the sun's going to go all the way down. You can see it. Oh, that's so sick. That's so sick. The sun is down there, and then whenever you want to turn it off, you just unapply the redstone signal, and it goes all the way back. Look how fast the sun's going right now. Look, look. Boom. It's daylight. I don't need it anymore. That's awesome. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is we have a weather controller. Let me just go ahead and throw all this stuff back in here. There we go. Okay. We have a weather controller. Now, this does exactly what it sounds like. What you got to do is you got to take an emerald, right? And you right-click with the emerald. Does this have stuff? No? There we go. Okay, so I thought you just right-clicked it. But you just take it, so it has 10 charges. Now, what we want to do is we want to turn rain off. Or, actually, let's turn rain on. So we can turn rain on. There we go. Now, what we got to do to turn the rain on, we just got to give a redstone signal. So if I apply a button right there, it's going to do stuff. Look at that. It shoots out little fireworks. There we go, and the rain's on. How cool is that? So let's turn rain off here. Let's see, turn rain off. Boom. There we go. It does its thing. And so you pretty much have an easy way to actually turn the rain on and off, which is really, really cool. I like it. Now, a few other things I want to look at here is pretty cool. We have a rain sensor. So what you can do is you can just stick a rain sensor on top of this guy, and it's going to emit a redstone signal every time it senses it's raining. So let's just go ahead and turn rain on. And it's going to turn it on and then immediately just turn it back off. It should anyways. Okay, there we go. So yeah, I had to tell it to turn the rain off. But yeah, it automatically detects rain, it'll turn it off, and that does that sort of thing. Now, another neat feature that this has is you can actually place anything in the world. Right now, I have it set to a custom key, but the normal key is P. But if you guys watch this, I can just do boom, set anything in the world. You can set it on any orientation. You right-click to get it off. There we go. We can set it upside down or on the wall or wherever we want. It doesn't matter where you set it. You can set it anywhere. And one thing you can do is you can oh, nope, wrong thing. You can, nope, wrong thing. You can nope, wrong thing. I'm in creative mode. Dang it. Okay, there we go. Let's go into survival mode. Okay, so I think you can shift left click it. There we go. So you can shift left click it and it does its thing. You can left click it to go the other way. I think you can do control left click and it does in smaller increments or something like that. Something like that. So yeah, you can do all kinds of cool stuff. So it's kind of like an item frame that you can put down anywhere in the world. It's really, really cool. And then you just right click it to get it off. So you can do this with absolutely anything you want. It's awesome. It's freaking amazing. Now let's go ahead and do something. So another cool, really useful thing that I want to show you guys that I would use all the time is let's go ahead and get, oh my god, holy balls of glory. There we go. Okay, we got all that stuff. Okay, so let me get the charm of dislocation and then the super advanced charm of dislocation. Now the charm of dislocation is pretty much like a rod of return from like Darkcraft or anything like that. You can right click, set a location, and then we fly off in the distance. I can just right click it again, takes me back to that location. So this is a weak version. This has 20 uses, so I can use this up to 20 times and it does stuff. I'm in creative, so it probably doesn't use the uses. But what we can do is this is an enhanced charm of location, so you can actually set locations everywhere. So we can add new, let's see, home. There we go, we got a home. So, and then if I right click, boom, I'm back at the home. But let's say I want to set up something that's like up here, for example. So we shift right click, we can add new, and we can set this to a spawner. Boom. And then now what we can do is we're back at home, but let's say we want to go to spawner right here. Now, boom, I'm back at spawner. There we go. So you just shift right click to go into the menu. This actually works across dimensions as well, which is freaking amazing. It's so cool. And I'm pretty sure it will last forever. It needs fuel, so you have to put fuel in here. Let's see. So out of ender pearls. So it takes ender pearls as fuel. Let's just go ahead and grab some ender pearls. Boom. Add fuel. There we go. We got a bunch of fuel. It uses 1 ender pearl per jump, so to speak. So that's really cool. And yeah, this is a very useful tool. I would say this is probably as useful as the Draconic chest. So it's really, really good as I just throw it out of the world. Okay, so there's a few more things I want to look at. First of all, we have the potentiometer. Now, have you ever wanted to set a specific redstone level without doing anything crazy? Well, you can with this. You just right click it and there we go. We got a redstone level 1, 2, 3. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way all over there. And then you can just shift right click it, make it go down. So you can actually set a very specific redstone level with this guy. And it's really cool. You just right click and shift right click. Another thing we have is we have the disenchanter, and this does exactly what it sounds like. You just stick the stuff in here, boom, and you can, it costs 4. There we go, boom. We have a sharpness 5, and then we can do another one. We get unbreaking 3. There we go. So we get all of our books back if we want, which is really cool. Now, one thing I want to show you guys before we get into the tools and stuff is the way to get Draconium. Now, Draconium is the next step after Awakened Draconium is the next step after Draconium. And there's a very special way you have to do this. First of all, you're going to need a Dragon Heart. The way you get a Dragon Heart is you have to kill the Ender Dragon. And once you kill the Ender Dragon, he drops a Dragon Heart. And then what you do is you actually blow the Dragon Heart up. Yep. So now you can actually do this in 4s. You're going to either need 1 charged Draconium block and 4 Draconic cores, or you can do 8 and 2, or 12 and 3, or 16 and 4. So what you do is I'm going to throw all 16 Draconic cores in here. The heart's going to suck it up, and then we take 4 of these guys and we set it up like this. Boom. Now what's going to happen is these guys are going to it sucks up the cores. Now those cores are actually really expensive. We look right here. Well, they're not that expensive. I mean, they take a diamond and stuff, but they're not super expensive. But yeah. Yeah, and it gives us Awakened Draconium blocks, and it gives us 4 of these. So right here we have, you know, it's 36 Awakened Draconium ingots. Now, once you have these guys, you can actually start using them to make all the advanced tools and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at the weapons and tools. Now, the first level weapons is just the sword, or the stuff of the Wyvern. Now, the way you make this is it just takes normal Draconium ingots and this kind of stuff. And each weapon or each thing requires a nether star, so it's not cheap. It's definitely not cheap at all. So you need a nether star and a bunch of draconium and diamonds and stuff, but you get these stuff. These guys are actually really cool. Look, this already has 15 attack damage, and you get a cool bow and stuff. Now, the default key, I think, is C. So whenever you press C, you can actually click on stuff. And when you click on it, we can actually look inside of its inventory, and you can stick enchantments and stuff inside of it. So, for example, if I want to put sharpness here, fortune 3, or not fortune 3, but yeah, like this, and you can put looting and all this stuff. And now, if you look at this guy, it has sharpness 5 and knockback 2, and it does 21 attack damage. So yeah, it's really cool. Also, if you want to let's see, like if we have the bow right here, we can actually change the mode on the bow here, and we can change the size that like stuff like shovels and pickaxes and stuff dig. So they have a lot of versatility. You can put enchants in all of these guys and do all that kind of stuff. And the cool thing about it is if we look at this, click back on this, go back to the inventory, you can take the enchants out. So you know, like you technically never lose the enchantment. So it's really nice. Now, the Wyvern stuff is really cool, but the Awakened Draconic stuff is, or the Draconic stuff is actually where everything gets a little BA here. This is where stuff gets crazy. So right here we can do a 3x3, a 5x5, a 7x7 for digging. And you can also change all kinds of other stuff in this. And then this by default does 19 attack damage. So like if we do C and go inside of the menu here, we can see that we can put sharpness in it and all this. And now it does 25 attack damage, which is pretty cool. Now there's different modes I was talking about. There's the sharpshooter mode, which zooms in heavily. Like if we look right here, it zooms in heavily. And then we also have explosive mode, which I think you need gunpowder to use. Yeah, and then we also have devastation, all creative only. We don't want to do that. And then we have rapid fire. So rapid fire just shoots really fast. It's pretty cool. Okay, so next thing we have is we have the armor. Now the Wyvern armor is pretty good. I've noticed it pretty much protects you from all damage except for a very specific thing, which we'll get into later. There's actually a super crazy guardian dragon that you can fight, and it doesn't protect you against that. The guardian dragon, or whatever, chaos guardian dragon, kills you in one hit, and I'll tell you guys about that here in a sec. But the Wyvern leggings and all this stuff pretty much protects you from all damage, and you can do the same thing. You can press C, you can click this, go into the inventory, add enchantments and all that kind of stuff, and they're really cool. They add a lot of protection. Also, you have a crazy move speed. Now you can lower the move speed. If we go back into the menu here, you can see there's a jump multiplier, there's a boost while sprinting, there's all kinds of stuff you can do. And let's just go back in here and look. So speed multiplier, we can change the speed multiplier. We can go down in increments of whatever, and we can make it, let's see, let's just make it 1. And we move a little bit faster, but not that much faster. Now let's go back into this and then do, you know, 5. now we move a lot faster. So you can change all this stuff on all the different armor. It's all the same like keys and stuff. And the helmet doesn't have anything, and it looks like the chest piece doesn't have anything. So pretty much this, and then the boots, which is awesome. Now, the Wyvern, or the Draconic is pretty much the same as the Wyvern, except for it's just better. And this guy actually fully protects you from the Chaos Guardian Dragon as well. So it's really, really cool. This has night vision. This has lock flight, so you can have pretty much like creative flight, which is pretty cool. Let's see, all this kind of stuff and all this stuff. Oh, and you can also get hill assist with this as well. So you can like turn all these on and off however you want. It's very customizable. It's really, really cool. Okay, so the last thing we're taking a look at before we get into the really juicy stuff is I'm going to get all this stuff out here. There's actually mob spawners. Now, the way you get mob spawner is you just find one in the wild, just like in a dungeon or whatever, and you just right-click it, and you'll get something called a stabilized mob spawner. Now, these guys don't do anything by themselves, but mobs actually have a 1 in 1,000 chance of dropping something called a mob soul. Right now in creative there's only the pig mob soul, but you can get witch mob souls, enderman mob souls, all this kind of stuff, and it's a 1 in 1,000 chance, so it's kind of hard. You have to have a pretty big mob farm setup. And what you do is you just right click this guy into the mob spawner here. Let's see, boom, there we go. It's going to spawn, you know, whatever you set up, and then you can actually do stuff. So if I shift click and look at the mob spawner, you'll see that you can do a tier 2 and tier 3. You can do all kinds of stuff. You can, like, so right here. So tier 3 requires an awakened core. Let's do tier 2 wyvern core. There we go. Boom. Now it's a tier 2. Let's do this. Now it's a tier 3. Awesome. And then we can do another star, and then another star actually requires players, which is interesting. And then ignore spawn requirements is a notch apple. There we go. So now it's going to spawn no matter what. And look, tier 3 goes faster. Now tier 1 is slower than tier 2. Tier 2 is slower than tier 3. All that kind of stuff. So yeah, that makes sense. Now the next thing up is we have a mob grinder. So it just does what it says. It just grinds mobs, and it does all kinds of cool stuff. And so if we stick this in here, it's just going to kill mobs. Okay, so I actually had it facing backwards. You just place it the way you want to go. So this is the killing side right here. And it doesn't pick up items or anything. It just kind of just straight up kills the stuff, which is really cool. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to show you is the multi-tier energy system. Now, this thing is by far the coolest thing in this mod. So what you need is you need an energy core and 4 of these particle generators. Now what you do is you space the particle generators between 1 and 10 blocks away from the energy core. You're going to need to spread these out farther the bigger the energy core becomes, but you don't have to have them all symmetrical. You can have one of them as like 8 blocks and the rest of them is 10 blocks or whatever. It doesn't really matter. So the first here is we take an energy core and we just stick draconium blocks all the way around it. And just like this, and then you just shift right click on one of these guys, and there you go. Look, this guy's like 8 blocks, these 3 are 10. It doesn't really matter how far away all of these guys are. And you kill one of them, it does their thing, you can reactivate it, that kind of stuff. Now this guy holds 273 million as tier 0. That's like 5 times more. Actually, this is tier 1. There's a tier 0 as well. So if we break one of these, let me go ahead and stick this guy here. You can see, I think the tier 1 is just this guy right here. If we just do go boom. Yeah, there's the tier 0 right there. And this holds 45 million, which is pretty good. Now you can go all the way up through the tiers. Now I'm not sure if I'm going to show all the tiers, but you have to build them in very specific ways. I might do a little speedy up bit though, maybe. Okay, well, here is the tier 6 altar. It is freaking huge. It's amazing. You guys saw the little speedy up bit where I built it. I'm actually surprised I didn't screw that up. I got it like first try. Now, you saw me referencing this book. I probably should have mentioned this at the beginning, but there's actually a Draconic book that shows you what everything does in this mod, and I needed its help for the energy storage multi-block. You can actually see it shows you all the different ways each tier looks. So there's tier 1, there's tier 2, there's tier 3, and then it shows you the steps of all of it using like gifts or whatever, which is really, really neat. There's tier 4, there's tier 5, and it shows you how much each of these holds. Like this holds 356 billion RF, which is ridiculous. This is tier 6, and this is the biggest one. It takes 218 draconium, 328 redstone, and it holds 2.14 trillion RF, which is nuts. It's freaking nuts. It's so crazy. It's ridiculous. So you might be asking, how do I get energy in and out of this thing? You can use these things called energy pylons. So you just stick an energy pylon near it, and then you can either stick the glass above or below. If the energy pylon is above the energy ball, then you stick the glass below. If the energy pylon is below, then you stick it above. So what you do is, now this is in output mode or whatever. So we can just stick this guy right here, and I think this works. Wait. Let me start. Let me do a little bit. Let me do some of this action here. Let me do stuff. There we go. Okay, so now there we go. Look, it is now in. It's putting things inside of this, and it's transferring really, really fast. Now, for example, let's get energy out of this guy. Let's go ahead and take an energy pylon like so. Boom, and we're just going to say glass on top, and then we're going to say empty energy cell. Boom, like that. Now, what this should do is this should start filling up this guy right here. There we go. So that's how you get energy in and out of it. And it's really not that complicated, and it's kind of cool. I like all the little particles and stuff. Okay, so we are going to do the ritual of Draconic Resurrection. I've already killed the Ender Dragon, so we're gonna resurrect him and do all that kind of stuff. So this tells you exactly what you need and how you want to build it inside of the book here. So let's just go ahead and build this guy. Let's just be like boom, boom. You need 4 glowstone. You need 4 pieces of obsidian. You need 1 resurrection stone. So let's just go ahead and throw all this stuff away as we use it. Then you need quartz pillars. You need 12 of these guys. And then let's just go ahead and really look at this real quick. And so we need 12. Okay, so we just do we do 1 of these and then 1 of those. You just place it 2 blocks away from the center right there. Then we want to do something in the center like this, or on the corners, I should say, like that and like that. So this should be 12 quartz pillars. Let's go ahead and re-look at this guy real quick. Ritual Draconic. So it's just diamonds, and then this guy. So there we go. Yeah, that's pretty much all you got to do. I mean, it's not super, super expensive, but now you can get like unlimited dragon hearts. You can make unlimited awakened draconium and that kind of stuff. There's also another way to get dragon hearts. You can actually get 2 per dragon kill, which we'll show here in a second. So there we go. We got everything we need. Let's just go ahead and throw all this stuff away. Let's look here in here again and see what this is. So to get a charged draconium, oh yeah, one thing I forgot to mention is to get charged draconium blocks, you just place the full draconium block inside of some kind of charger. It doesn't matter what it is, and it charges up. It takes 100 million RF to make it a fully charged thing. So yeah. So now what we gotta do is we got to just right click the thing, and there we go. Look, it's going to do stuff, and now that it's done stuff, it's going to start doing all kinds of crazy lightning and all kinds of crazy stuff like that. And now it should re-summon the dragon, which is crazy. Oh, and there we go. We got the Ender Dragon. So oh look, he's like a special Ender Dragon. Oh yeah, look at this guys. Oh, and he's getting fully healed. Holy crap, he looks much stronger than the normal Ender Dragon, which is cool. Yeah, but he's not quite the Chaos Dragon, which we'll see here in a second. But yeah, there we go. We got the Ender Dragon again. We can get stuff. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the Chaos Dragon. Now the Chaos Dragon, or Chaos Guardian, and the Guardian Islands here spawn every 10,000 blocks. So it could be 10,000, 0, 20,000, 10,000, 10,000, 10,000, 20,000, 20,000, every 10,000 blocks. So just go 10,000, 0, 10,000. Sure, why not? So I just TP'd to stuff here. So let's see, is stuff going to load? Oh, oh, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. There we go. So there we go. Look, we have a Chaos Dragon, which is crazy. And then there we go. Look at him. He's all red. He's crazy. He's much stronger to fight. Now, the best strategy to actually kill these guys I've noticed is you drag them away from their little island because they're much stronger than a normal Ender Dragon. And when I say that, I mean that like they recharge their health a lot faster and they do a lot more damage. And to fight these guys, I'm pretty sure you're gonna need Draconic. Armor because Wyvern armor gets one shot, and we tried other armor like the top tier magical crops armor. Every other armor gets one shot pretty much. I don't know about like armor from IC2 and that kind of stuff, but pretty much all armor I've tried gets one shot. But yeah, here's the Chaos Dragon, and oh, we don't want this stuff. Let's go ahead and rapid fire, and then you kill all the crystals, you do all that kind of stuff, and you fight the dragon. And this guy drops 2 hearts. So yeah. Anyways, that's pretty much everything in the mod, guys. If you enjoyed, make sure to go and click the like button. I really appreciate it. I love y'all's faces, and I'll see you guys for the next one.